Alrighty guys, it's back. I think you know what it is. This ain't no review. This ain't no talk. This is Technoid, the tech show, back and officially returned. After 7 long months, it is time to go back to the area that brought me this channel, that brought you guys to my area of the woods, and it is time to finally resurrect my show. I love my reviews. I love what I do on the internet, but at the end of the day, no matter where my success on YouTube ends, the thing that started it for me was my tech show, and I have neglected it. I am sorry to all of you that have waited so long for this. Technoid is back, but if you're noticing something is different, that is because after 5 years of the green screen, it is time to say goodbye in certain applications, but hello to the new. Because you guys have embraced my bar area, I've decided to make that the centerpiece of my show now. This has taken on a life of its own. It will change themes and colors based on the topics we talk about, and we got a lot of things to talk about, so let's not waste any time. Don't touch that dial, turn up the volume, because guess what guys? Technoid is back. We got a lot to talk about in the tech world, and it starts right now. The first story, the main story of the day, the iPhone 17 lineup. Yes, you knew this was going to be the first story. You knew this was going to be the one that gets me back on track, because this channel started with Apple. We're resurrecting the show with Apple. But don't worry, Android news will be back, and don't worry guys, Technoid news, everything will be back in short order. But anyway, first story, the main story of the day, let's talk about the iPhone 17 lineup. Now this has been going on for quite a while, 6 months to be exact, and with the release of the iPhone 16, we knew the rumors were gonna start. Now that we're 6 months into the release, heading into 7 months, and with WWDC being announced, which by the way, we will talk about on the next episode, there's a lot of buzz for the iPhone 17, and specifically iOS 19. We'll see how those two tie hand in hand, but taking a look at the iPhones, we have got your standard iPhones like we do every year. But if you haven't been keeping up or you don't know anything about what's going on, make sure you watch closely, because I'm gonna break it down for you as best as I can without boring you to death or turning into an Apple sheep in the process. But anyway, starting off with the first one, the standard iPhone 17. Essentially, there's nothing different about that. It's literally just the iPhone 16 design with maybe a few tweaks here and there, but the iPhone 17 is going to keep the same design of the iPhone 16. There really is not going to be a major change in its design overhaul, and to be quite honest with you, I am not mad about that at all, because honestly speaking, it's a fine design. I see nothing wrong with it. But the big one, everybody's been talking about it. It has been everywhere. It's been documented. It's been tattooed on somebody's butt cheek. The iPhone 17 Air. The iPhone 17 Air is the one that everybody is having their eyes glued on, specifically because of what it's trying to do. Now, as you guys know, Apple hasn't really been doing very well in terms of sales year to year for the iPhone series. There have been hits and misses. The Pros and the Pro Max have been the most popular ones by far, but the standard models, some of them are doing well, some of them aren't doing well. Apple does this, Apple does that. Apple tells us what to spend our money on. Apple tells you what headphones to buy. Hell, even if Apple told you how to sell your social security number on the black market, I'm sure there'd be a subscription price for that too. But in this instance, they need something to shake up the revenue and get people to buy into the iPhones and actually switch their phones. We've reached a plateau now where smartphones are just very boring. There's nothing new, there's nothing that entices you to switch. Don't even get me started on the S25, that's for another time. But Apple is introducing a brand new model that is going to take the place of the Plus series, specifically called the iPhone 17 Air. The iPhone 17 Air is the one that everybody has their eye on, and actually myself included. For starters, it is going to be the thinnest iPhone Apple has ever made. It is a 6.6-inch AMOLED display, or OLED technology if you want to be a little bit more specific. On top of that, it will feature the same design as all the other iPhones with a little bit of a better tweak from the 17, but here's where it really stands out. There's a few things you guys need to know. Number one is that it will have one camera on the phone. Now, this is a little bit of a controversial take, but I am somebody that actually likes a single lens on a phone. I am no longer a big fan of multi-lenses. I really think that one lens can do the job for any smartphone, especially now with this new technology that they're advancing with where the wide and ultra-wide lenses can now be merged into one. And that seems to be the direction that Apple is heading in, because that singular lens is going to act as the zoom and standard and will be able to do 10 up to 15 times zoom in one single lens. This is being tested with the iPhone SE, or the 16e to be exact. This is something they're testing because this is what's going to make its way over to the 17 Air, and on top of that, it will also have an updated 24 megapixel front-facing camera. There are a few cutbacks because it is so super thin. There is only going to be one speaker on the phone because there's just not enough internal space to fit two, so you will be sacrificing the sound quality in favor of wireless audio or wired audio if you're like me. On top of that, you will not have the multi-cameras, but it also will come with a brand new design that is in the back of the phone, which we'll get to. But then lastly, in regards to the price, a lot of people were saying that this phone was going to be somewhere in the thousands because of how thin it was and how experimental. But according to Mark Gurman and several data analyses in the whole smartphone trend, they're saying that it's $899. That is the rumored running price tag, and something you should also know is that the 17 and the 17 Air are going to have 120 Hertz display across the board. So, for all of you that bought iPhone 16s this year, yeah, I'm sorry about that. And then lastly is the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max. This is your standard Pro and Pro Max release. There are a few things to take note of. For starters, the Pro and the Pro Max both are going to have the same camera technology. There really is not going to be any major difference in terms of that camera. It is going to have that new design that we are seeing. It kind of just looks like they took the Google Pixel design and just said, yeah, we're going to do it because it's new. Now, there is rumors saying that there might have been something inside of that housing to add to the technology, but with a few schematics and a few renders done, it kind of just shows that it doesn't really do anything except house the camera. But with that being said though, the specs of the phone are as follows. It is going to be a 6.3-inch display for the Pro and a 6.9-inch for the Pro Max. They are both going to have the same 48 megapixel cameras that are both upgraded from this year's 16 Pro and Pro Max, as well as having the capabilities of 8K recording. So that is going to be a huge game changer, especially for the Pro and the Pro Max series. On top of that, it is also rumored that there is some reports saying it might go back to aluminum instead of titanium. I don't agree with that at all. I think the 17 Air, the Pro, and the Pro Max are going to stick with titanium. Apple went all in on the marketing on titanium, really selling the hype around it. I just can't see them abandoning it. I can't see that. How can you give a multi-million-dollar ad campaign where it literally said titanium and then all of a sudden say, yeah, after 2 phone releases, we're gonna go back? This is kind of why I miss stainless steel. I personally love stainless steel. That's just me though. On top of that, to round off the rumors with the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max, there is reports saying that it is going to be more optimized for the Apple Vision Pro. The LiDAR sensor is also going to be moved around, and also all the phones are reported, with the exception of the iPhone 17 Air, there is reports saying that Apple will have a nice thermal upgrade in the phones. The displays are going to get updated. The Pro chips are going to be for the Pro and the Pro Max. The iPhone 17 Air is not going to be getting that Pro chip with the A series, so don't expect that. But to be honest with you, the A series chips do a really good job. And then just to really round it all off is that all phones will of course get ProMotion and always on display. So what do I think of all this? Well, listen guys, this is a lot of stuff in one video, so let's take a chance to just digest that. Okay, now we've digested it, this is a lot. I don't know. I think for the most part that a lot of people really are excited for these phones because there's just not enough excitement anymore to entice you to spend money on a new phone. Considering the fact that most phones can last you up to 5-6 years with software support, and if you change its battery, there's really not much room. The iPhone 16 proved that because nobody really bought into the AI. There was no reason for anyone to switch if you had a 15 Pro or Pro Max, and if you had a 15, you could also live without the AI because, to be honest with you, the Apple AI is just okay. So there was no real reason to upgrade unless you had an older phone. But now that the 17s are getting everything that everybody wanted with the ProMotion, always on display, better battery, better areas, this might be the year that they could do that, specifically with that iPhone 17 Air. I am very, very curious to see where exactly Apple goes with this. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm willing to downgrade my phone to the 17 Air if that singular lens can do the job of two lenses, of the zoom and the regular telephoto. If those two can do that, I might take a look at it, but the lack of two speakers is remaining to be seen, and also, you know, with 5G support and the Apple modem chips, we still have to wait and see how that goes. But that is everything on the iPhone 17. I will give more breakdown as we get closer to the launch, but that's everything I've missed. I hope you guys were able to stay through that. Now we got that out of the way, let's round it off with some AirPod Max news. So good news to those of you that paid $550, that still boggles my mind. For those of you that paid $550 for AirPod Maxes with USB-C, here is some good news for you. You can finally get lossless audio on a high fidelity, quote, headphone that Apple sells in the form of USB-C to the iPhone. Coming in a firmware update in iOS 18.4 as well as the AirPod Max's firmwares, it is now going to be enabled for high-res lossless audio. It won't be all the way up to 192 kilohertz, but it will be at 24 bits, 48 kilohertz, and all you have to do is just plug in the USB-C to USB-C onto the iPhone or anything. There is going to be a built-in DAC that apparently the headphones had, which we kind of already knew this was the capability. But also, if you want a wired option, they are now selling a USB-C to 3.5 input, which basically replaces that Lightning to 3.5, which gave you semi-lossless, but didn't quite. That was confusing in and of its own. But I'm really glad that Apple did this because the Beats Studio Pros were able to do that at $350, and that said a lot. So the fact that a $550 headphone couldn't do that was just sad. So I'm really glad that Apple did this, but I also am still not tempted to buy it because even though, yeah, it does add that feature, I want better tracking, better noise canceling, better battery, better sound. I want all of that. I'm not getting AirPod Maxes with USB-C just for that. Give me the whole package deal. So we'll talk when they make a new model. But for those of you that have it, you got it. And that's it for today's episode of Technoid. Guys, it is great to be back. It is great to do my show again. I really appreciate all of you. I appreciate everything that you guys have done for me. I appreciate all of your support. I appreciate everything you guys have said and done. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, everybody. If you disliked the video, you can hit the dislike button to help circulate my videos as well. As always, everyone, thank you so much for watching. It is great to be back doing the show that I love. It is great to be behind the camera again. I hope you guys are sticking around for the new. We are gonna be working on this, guys. This is just the start of many things to come. I'm getting some new equipment. We're getting new lighting. Many, many things coming. Stay tuned for more, guys. Welcome back to Technoid. I missed you guys.